Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we tear through your source material and deliver the intellectual shortcuts you need.
That's right.
Today, we are taking a long, contemplative float down the powerful imagery of Numbulwirathunga's poem, The River Between Us, a song.
It's a remarkable piece because it shows the absolute power of a single metaphor. Our mission today really is to analyze how this river isn't just water.
No.
It's an entire emotional geography. It's the constant flowing character that dictates separation, loss, and ultimately, the nature of memory itself.
Okay, let's unpack this right at the start then, because the poet hooks you immediately with this massive paradoxical idea. They say this river is responsible for carrying tears and stars apart. Just think about that for a second. How can one geographic feature manage to separate the smallest, most immediate human sorrow, the tears, from the grandest, most distant concept, the stars, destiny, the eternal?
It's the poem's foundational statement, isn't it? That the river's power is universal. And initially, it's purely physical, a tangible boundary. You are there beyond the river, and I am here upon my boat. Simple statement. But that geographical fact instantly becomes psychological weight. It's heavy.
And it's not passive at all. This isn't just some static border drawn on a map, is it?
No, not at all.
The poem tells us the river runs between our hearts, which makes the separation feel so internal, like an internal wound that flows constantly.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is that the river is also the unrelenting agent of time. It's almost like the clock that ensures the separation deepens. The narrator fears the tide may take you far away. This isn't just about the current distance, it's about different futures unfolding.
Right, divergent paths.
Exactly. Time, represented by the flow of water, ensures that they drift into separate lives and separate realities. It makes the separation feel permanent, or at least progressive, constantly getting wider.
So separation isn't just a barrier of space, it's a barrier of time.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense if you're trying to grasp the key takeaway here. Here's where it gets really interesting, though, for me anyway. The contradiction around memory and survival. The river is constantly flowing, actively trying to wash everything away, right? Yet the narrator says they are breathing in what the river forgets. What's going on there?
That line is, I think, the narrator's defining quality. The whole world, the river, time, movement is moving on, forgetting the pain, maybe erasing the past relationship.
Yeah.
But the narrator is anchored, surviving, literally inhaling the residue of that erased history. They are refusing, to let the current pull them into forgetfulness.
That's the difference between moving on and being trapped by fidelity, maybe. The river is nature's mechanism for erasing pain, and the narrator is fighting that mechanism by holding on to the ghost of what was.
That's a good way to put it.
It highlights the vast, almost cosmic capacity of this water to disrupt both the everyday suffering, the tears, and the eternal hope, the stars, all captured in that single image, carrying tears and stars apart, separating the physical world from the aspirational one.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture for you listening, the river doesn't just separate two people, it separates two entire modes of existence. It's like a filter that clarifies two radically different emotional and maybe material realities. Which brings us neatly to the sharp contrast in imagery between the two sides of the river.
That contrast is so essential, I think, because it immediately expands the scope of the pain. It's not just unrequited love. It feels like it could be systemic separation. Let's look at the narrator's reality first. It's steeped in labor and physical struggle.
Yeah. The narrator is entirely defined by the river's harshness. They are upon my boat where the dark waves hide. Dark waves!
Yeah, ominous.
The life is toil. They're rowing till my hands can row no more. That constant grinding necessity of labor is just so clear. Still I row and I mend my nets.
Mending nets. That's such a potent image of trying to hold things together.
It is. And this entire life is distilled into that single devastating summary. Poor in gold, but rich in pain.
Wow. The narrator is literally navigating shadows and poverty, a life characterized by continuous necessary labor. Now, look across the river to the description of the beloved's world, or at least the narrator's memory of it.
Right.
It's presented as a world of pure, untouched light and ease.
Absolutely. We move from those dark waves and mended nets to the silver moonlight side and actual fields of gold. The memories are idyllic, pristine. Almost too perfect to be true, perhaps?
Exactly what I was thinking. We see images of innocence and growth, white jasmine in your face and bloom, and schoolbooks and laughter fill your room. Everything associated with the beloved is bathed in light, education, ease.
While the narrator is in darkness, rowing, exhausted.
It contrasts so sharply with the narrator's physical exhaustion and the need to mend torn nets.
And this contrast raises a really important critical point for you listening. The chasm across that river is likely not just romantic or geographic. It feels social. The narrator's world is defined by hard, necessary subsistence labor, while the beloved's world, or the memory of it, is characterized by leisure, education, beauty. That difference makes the river an even more insurmountable boundary than just the water itself.
Wait, I wonder though, can we challenge that for a moment?
Yeah.
Is it possible the beloved's world is not objectively idyllic,
Oh.
but that the narrator, stuck in shadows and toil, needs to believe the beloved is bathed in silver moonlight and fields of gold? Maybe this idealized world is just a necessary fantasy.
Why, that's a fascinating alternative interpretation. So the distance isn't just geographic or social, but a difference in memory filtering.
Yeah, like if the beloved is struggling too, maybe the narrator can't endure the pain of their own situation. By framing the beloved's life as ease and light, the narrator preserves that memory, makes the loss feel, well, less devastating.
Like it was a loss to something beautiful and worthwhile, rather than just two people sinking together in hardship.
Exactly.
That adds another layer. Whether it's objective reality or idealized memory, the takeaway remains similar, though. The barrier between them is vast.
Yeah.
And rooted not just in feeling, but possibly in social positioning, economic circumstances, or even just the way memory works under stress.
It really takes the sadness from a simple lover's separation to maybe a profound commentary on how systemic issues or just life circumstances can permanently prevent connection.
And this heavy, comprehensive realization that the river is separating time, social status, memory, existence itself, it leads us toward the moment of, well, devastating acceptance found in the poem's final sections, the bridge section.
This feels like the narrative pivot point, doesn't it? The rowing, the striving, it all kind of has to stop because reality finally intervenes hard.
Yes, the definitive, painful line is delivered. Someone else now holds your hand. Yeah, this is the moment of irrevocable loss. The narrator's forced to accept that the physical and emotional distance has culminated in permanent relational distance. There is no going back across the river now.
And the consequence of this acceptance is immediate in the poem. The narrator's tears now flow to another land. They are no longer weeping towards the beloved's shore. They are channeling their grief elsewhere. Towards resignation, maybe. The active striving has ended.
Replaced by a kind of passive endurance. Precisely. The narrator is no longer hoping to cross the river or retrieve the beloved. The hope is externalized entirely now.
How so?
It transforms into a wish for the beloved's separate life. If your dreams should scatter away, may the moonlight guide you home someday. The agency has been transferred entirely to external forces, the moonlight, fate, anything but the strength of the rower's hands.
Which have failed to bridge the gap.
Right, they've failed.
It's a beautiful but really heartbreaking shift. Instead of saying, I will save you or I will reach you, the narrator says, I hope external goodness saves you or guides you.
And this entire emotional journey culminates in the final, really powerful destination, which the narrator commits to. You'll find me waiting in the river's dream.
Okay, what exactly is this river's dream? It's such an ambiguous phrase, isn't it? And it feels like it holds the entire weight of the poem by the end.
I think the genius of it is that the river, which was the absolute agent of separation and pain throughout the poem.
Yeah, the antagonist, almost.
Almost, yes. Now it becomes the custodian of the final act of fidelity. The river's dream is not a physical place. It's not the boat or the shore.
So what is it?
I see it as an eternal holding pattern, a space preserved by memory and love, sustained within the very force that caused the pain. It's the narrator making a final psychological commitment to stand outside of time, in a way.
So the narrator is committing to waiting in this timeless, protected state, maintained by the separating water itself. It ensures that their love persists, but only after acknowledging total, concrete defeat. Someone else now holds your hand.
Exactly. The love endures because it has transitioned from a physical goal crossing the river to an eternal sort of spiritual state, the river's dream.
Wow.
The enduring power of love in this poem is its capacity to acknowledge defeat, to see reality, while simultaneously creating a space, a dreamlike mechanism where reunion remains metaphorically possible, where the two realities, the dark waves and the fields of gold, can finally merge, maybe?
Yeah.
Even if only in the imagination held by the water itself.
So wrapping this up for you, the person trying to absorb this depth quickly. The journey moved from initial physical separation, the river as barrier, to a sharp emotional and maybe socioeconomic distinction, harsh reality versus idyllic memory, and concluded with this complex commitment to enduring dreamlike hope housed within the agent of separation.
And the takeaway, I think, is that this river is the perfect symbol for any long, persistent barrier in life, whether it's poverty or actual distance or just different life trajectories that pull people apart. It constantly reminds you of what separates you. But if your love or your commitment is strong enough, it paradoxically becomes the only place where that memory can truly be preserved, maybe.
That leaves us with a final provocative thought for you to carry across the water with you. If the river represents time and inevitable change, is the river's dream the ultimate act of fidelity and a state of beautiful, timeless memory? Or is it merely the enduring delusion that keeps the narrator trapped? Trapped rowing, mending their nets on the dark waves, forever waiting for a dawn that will never actually bring the beloved home.
What is the true cost of waiting forever in a dream?
We'll let you wrestle with the current on that one. Thanks for diving deep with us today.